Good afternoon, everybody. Joe Martin the Metalhead here. Hope you're going well. Coming to you from Birmingham today. Yes, 2 weeks ago, Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne performed one final gig here in the home of metal in Birmingham at Villa Park. And even though I couldn't go to this concert because tickets were already sold out, if tickets weren't sold out too quickly, and if tickets were like 200 quid, I would have gone. I would have definitely attended that gig. I know I saw Ozzy in Sydney and Geezer and Tony in Heaven and Hell in Sydney, but I'm just glad that I got to see Ozzy, Geezer and Tony in my lifetime. And also, let's not forget Ronnie James Dio and Vinny Appice, since they all played in Black Sabbath. And also, I saw Glenn Hughes as well, and he played in Black Sabbath as well. So, for the next 2 months at the Birmingham Art Galleries, there's going to be an exhibition on Ozzy Osbourne. I first came to Birmingham 14 years ago for an overnight stay, and I visited an expo called the Home of Metal, and it would basically showcase all the bands who came out of Brum, like Napalm Death, Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, and Judas Priest. But today it just focuses on Ozzy Osbourne's career. It's got a lot of things about his, his life, started up in Birmingham, all the clothes he wore on stage. It mostly focuses on his solo career, because you got to remember, he got kicked out of Sabbath in '79, and he started his solo career in the Blizzard of Oz in 1980, and then he had a Black Sabbath reunion in 1985 at Live Aid, and then didn't reunite properly with Sabbath until 1992, which is like a one-off thing because Ronnie James Dio didn't want to play at this gig, so they hired Rob Halford, Judas Priest. But then Black Sabbath reunited in the UK in 1997 with their 4 original members, and even though they never toured properly after 2006, and then there was hopes for a reunion, which was all dashed because of what Billboard was doing, Black Sabbath finally made the curtain fall down 2 weeks ago with a reunion of the original lineup. So there will never ever be another Black Sabbath gig. I can never say that I saw Black Sabbath in my lifetime. I can still say I saw Ozzy in my lifetime. I can still say I saw Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler in my lifetime. But I can live down the fact that no, I never properly went to see Black Sabbath, because when Billboard pulled out of that reunion in 2012, I thought, what's the point? It's just 3 out of 4. Just like, I can't see the purpose. So, we're gonna get back to enter the art gallery soon. I've just left the library bus stop because my friends would say you'd get there quicker if you just got off of the library and walked rather than wait for the bus to take 5 minutes and get there. Yep, I've arrived. This is the man of the hour, John Michael Osbourne, aka Ozzy Osbourne, born in Birmingham in 1948. That's his official logo, started from the Blizzard of Oz album. The introduction of John Michael Osbourne and how he became Ozzy. I read his book that he was a few quid short of emigrating to Australia because he needed £10. He was like, I couldn't afford the £10 to move to Australia. So that's no wonder why he ended up in Britain, because if he'd gone to Australia, who knows, he would have never been a Black Sabbath or an Ozzy Osbourne. See, I like the way how it started out his career. Ozzy Zig needs a gig, has OPA. These are all of Ozzy's studio albums. He won a Grammy for Ozzy Moss and also Page Number 9, and then it was nominated for Black Rain and Scream. And then he had live albums and Best of Complication. I only ever bought Black Rain when it came out. I remember that came out in 2007. Bought Blizzard of Oz because that was a really good lineup with Lee from Uriah Heep, as well as Bob Daisy also from Uriah Heep, and then the one and only Randy Rhoads. So he had like Randy Rhoads for the first 2 albums, and then he had Jackie Lee as well as the guy from Night Ranger. And then for the rest of his career, he just had Zakk Wylde, but then also, I think 1995 was the last he had Steve Vai. So, let's see all the awards of Ozzy. 5 million sold of the first albums of Oz. We've got a few gold albums here for Bark of the Moon and Speak of the Devil. Gold albums, gold plates. And a classic photograph of the late Randy Rhoads. Man, if only this guy had lived. So that was when Ozzy performed with Randy Rhoads, and the iconic photograph was taken the year of 1982. Months later, Randy Rhoads was killed in a plane crash. So you got Ozzy Osbourne's solo career, 1980-92, 12 years of platinum for many more to come. RA Gold's Video Award, Don't Blame Me. The Osbourne's Cometh. Ozzy was recently inducted into the Rock Hall of Fame last year, but he'd been ineligible for many years. But Black Sabbath was actually nominated 8 times, and Ozzy kept on saying, "Forget us, we will never meet your darlings, just take our name off the ink." But they were eventually inducted in 2006, and then 18 years later, Ozzy was inducted for his solo work, making him another double inductee into the Rock Hall of Fame. And this is from the Osbourne Cometh album. And here we are, we have Ozzy Osbourne's Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees for his solo career and for Black Sabbath. So thank you for Ozzy Osbourne for lending us out for the people of Brum for the next few weeks. So this is quite an iconic gig that happened about 3 years ago, yes. The Commonwealth Games are being held in Birmingham, and Tony Iommi had performed at the opening ceremony. Nobody knew that Ozzy Osbourne was going to shock the audience and perform Iron Man and Paranoid. Even though he only played with Tony and 2 other musicians, a lot of people were worried, man, this might be Ozzy's last gig because of his health, because he wasn't able to tour because of his health conditions. And so this was, let's just say, Ozzy's 3rd last performance, because he also performed at the NFL a few weeks later. We got more awards that were given to Ozzy. Number 1 media base, Active Rock Chart, Crack Cocaine. More awards, MTV Reality for the Osbournes. Billboard Touring Award. God-like genius, the North Finger. GQ Men's of the Year, Lifetime Achievement, Ozzy Osbourne. Oh my god, they've taken Ozzy's Walk of Fame here in Birmingham and put it on display. That was the day he was inducted, that was 2007. Now, I didn't come to Birmingham until 2011. I didn't even find this until my second trip to Brum in 2012. So, 65 million albums sold. Well, I must say, I really do enjoy this album because Lemmy was featured on it. And the funny thing is, Lemmy wrote Mama I'm Coming Home, and that song has sold more copies than any of Lemmy's Motorhead work in total. Okay, and here's 3 of Ozzy's Grammys. Here's solo work for I Don't Want to Change the World in 93. Then for Best Rock Album in 2002 for Patient Number 9. And then Best Male Performance, Degradation Blues featuring Tony Iommi. So yeah, this is a small exhibition about the life of Ozzy Osbourne. I'm glad he's been able to showcase all this for the next few months, just after the last ever gig of Black Sabbath.